Hello, myself, Ram Rant. Welcome to my review of the recently released indie game Emily's Away. There will be some minor spoilers for storyline, so when I get to the bit you'll want to turn off if you don't want the storyline ruined for you. But otherwise, enjoy. So Emily's Away is sort of riffing on nostalgia for the old instant messaging clients. Now, some of you may watch this may be too young to really remember those. Although you probably have something similar form of Facebook Messenger is a good example of what you have now, but when I was sort of growing up, well, when I was a teenager in the sort of 2000s, you had things called instant messenger programs, and the most probably one that was most popular, at least from my peer group anyway, was Msn Messenger, which I think eventually became Windows Live Messenger, and I don't even know if it exists anymore. I think it's sort of disappeared now, like the way of all things Microsoft, apart from Windows. But with Msn Messenger, and what you do is you basically you'd have friends, usually via email address, you add them on there, and then you would basically double click them, have a little chat. A chat would pop up, and you basically type in text, enter, and they'd reply back. And initial programs could only just send text. Later ones could do pictures or even files. You could send files over as well and put emails. So quite basic stuff. Msn was a big one. I said there's Yahoo Messenger, which I didn't have an account for, which was pretty shit from memory. There's also AOL Messenger, which I never used. And these are sort of the things that before they got sort of replaced by things like Skype sort of took over, which is what eventually my group moved on to, or things like TeamSpeak sort of came into the fore. Basically, all these programs sort of took over and replaced it. And obviously, when social networking came big, that replaced it. This is what we used to use before. So anyway, sort of set in that period of time when everybody was still using them. And the first year is 2002. It starts. So the game loads up, and as it's probably for 2002, it looks like Windows XP, admittedly a very pixelated version of Windows XP. So obviously to avoid copyright reasons, I'd imagine. So you get the Windows XP comes up, it looks like Windows logon screen. It even has sort of the blurry version of the Windows logon default thing icons you can pick. And those logons are the chapters. So you click on one, that's your chapter. You load up and then you get your nice blurry default Windows XP rolling hills background, which I realised is actually a real photo. I always thought it'd been heavily photoshopped, but apparently it's actually a real photo, supposedly. Supposedly, anyway. So you load up, and then as soon as you load into it, a chat messenger program sort of starts, and you get contacted by a girl called Emily. And she writes a message, and you then get given an option to apply. Now, this is my first little gripe of the game. In the Steam description, it lists it, describes it as a chatbot. This is not a chatbot, because a chatbot, you can type whatever you want to it, and then it will read it and try and interpret it and reply back appropriately. So, for example, Cleverbot, the website, if you're not gone to it, it's something worth looking at. It's a chatbot. And you can type whatever you want to it and it will reply back. Not infallible. It's definitely, you can tell within a few minutes you're speaking to a computer. So not infallible, but it's a proper, you can have a conversation. Sometimes the conversations work out quite well. This is not like that. Instead, what you get is in your little, where you normally type your dialogue, you get an option of 3 responses. And you click on one, and once you click on it, that's the point you're going to be. But you can't just click on it and it says it. No, what you have to do is type it in. But you don't type it in. So I clicked it first. I thought, I've got to type it in. So I started typing what it was saying, and as I was typing away, it kept typing. And I realised that no matter what key I pressed, it was typing a preset message. So every time you press a key, you type one character. And occasionally you'll make mistakes. Like your character you're playing as will make a mistake and misspell something, and then he'll delete it and so forth. And you keep typing. You just keep in the keyboard until your message is typed, and then you hit enter to send. It better sound like a really neat idea on paper. In practice, after about 30 seconds, the novelty wears off. And you find yourself just hitting your enter key as fast as you rapidly can in a desperate hope to try and get through it as quickly as you possibly can and just get the message sent. I couldn't stand that bit, to be honest. I was waiting for. I was trying to see if I could find a way to just like instantly send the message, and I can't see it as far as you're away. So you talk to her. She sends you a message. She sends replies back with what you say. And this is where sort of the branching dialogue is meant to occur. What you say in the messages is also how the game sort of develops and unfolds into what you arrange. And each little chapter has like sort of a moment associated with it where you can divert the story. I mean, when I said of branching storyline, I was expecting something quite big, but actually, fact, it doesn't feel like it branches very much at all. At least from not what I've seen. It just feels I can't believe it could branch too much farther out. Full disclosure, I've only played the game once, so maybe it does. So you get your little message screen that pops up, you talk back, and depending on what you reply will change where the game goes. I do find that you don't get always back what you want to say. You don't really get, like, all these sort of pre-built dialogue trees. You don't really get to say what you want to say. I mean, it's the same true of a lot of any RPGs. I mean, this is basically like something like, say, I don't know, Mass Effect's dialogue options, but without all the intervening cutscenes, or Walking Dead dialogue. So you've got all the cutscenes deleted in between. You just got the dialogue tree one after the other. And you don't really always get to pick exactly what you want to say. And sometimes they're pretty much the same thing, but said a different way. And there are times where basically I was thinking, I don't want to pick any of the options. There's no option. There's no fourth option of me that I want to say. There's no option there. But you pick your option, apply, and then certain options of game change will obviously have story changing effects. Sometimes you'll get messages pop up saying like, "Oh, Emily will remember that," or you'll get things like saying, "You chose not to do such and such," and they'll appear on the bottom of the screen. Very Walking Dead-esque. So, over the next 5 chapters, those will then sort of play back. So, the storyline is you're a person, and this is your guide, but you don't actually have to be a guide, I don't think. You're a person, and you're now about to leave high school and go to college. So I said look up in your TV tropes, because I don't know actually what age you left high school in America, and it's 7 or 17. And this is like, of each year, the game's split into 5 years from you leaving high school and going through your 4 years of college. The game's split into 5 years of you chatting with Emily each time. And it does feel like it's implying that there's a year gap between, or roughly a year gap between each chat. It does feel like it's implying that. So there's this one random girl who you're talking to randomly once a year, who also was somewhat quite a good friend, but you're talking to her randomly once a year. So basically, let me talk you through what my character's storyline, how he's all developed. So this is where the spoilers are going to come in. Year 1. So we start chatting with Emily, she replies, and with big sort of space we talk about the fact we're leaving high school, we talk about the fact there's a party going on, and she's going to go along with a friend called Julie, and she asks if I'm going to go, and put myself into other character. If I was actually there, I wouldn't go. Parties aren't my sort of thing, so I chose to say, nah, I'm not going to go. So I chose not to go. So she sort of seems a bit disappointed, but at the end, then she talks about what college I'm going to go to. I said I'm going to go to an engineering college, because that's all the choices I had available. I don't have that affects later on game at all. That's the option I picked. I chose to go to an engineering college to learn to build things. And so the chat sort of ends, and that's sort of it. So quite a simple one. Basically, the main choice is if you're going to go to the party or not. That's year 1. So we then go on to year 2. So I'm at work college now. We start chatting again when she says hello. She asks how it's getting on. I tell her it's all going fun and fantastic. I'm loving being an engineer. I love drawing and doing maths and all sorts. And she asks, and we sort of talk, and she asks about what project I'm going to do. I mentioned and asked if I want to go out that evening. I tell her no, because I'm a nerd, and I'm going to do a group project. And I'm dedicated to my course, and I want to get a good grade. I want to go do that group project rather than go out and have a good time, because I'm a sad loser. Although, to be fair, that's what I actually would do, because I actually am a sad loser in many ways. So I chose not to go out. I then find out she's actually having a relationship with somebody, and they see some good things, but then it sort of transpires actually that the guy's not particularly nice to her. And I basically say, come on, you're not in it to be sort of treated badly. You're meant to. It's a give and take relationship. You're meant to be sort of have a nice time. And if he's treating you badly, you really shouldn't really be involving yourself with him, or at least you should reconsider what you're doing. We all just have their ups and downs, but I just get the feeling that she was having lots of downs, and perhaps I misread the situation, but I just also said I think you need to sort of consider what you're doing, because you don't deserve to be treated nastily. She took that on board, and we sort of eventually met her ways. I then disappeared off to go to my group project, and that moved on. So that was year 2. So quite simplistic now so far. So then we got on to year 3. So I'm chatting with Emily, she continues to chat with me as is normally the case. And she asks what's going. I tell her I'm going good, fun, great. She asks if I'm doing anything the weekend. I said, yeah, I'm hanging out with this girl, Emma. At this point, I didn't know who Emma was, because I just said hang out with somebody. So I clicked back, and then I found out how it's all with Emma. Didn't know who that was. She asked who Emma is, and so I wanted to know as well, because I didn't know who Emma was. So I click on and basically I had the option of, Emma's a girl I like. So I click on that. Although for some reason, instead of saying, she's a girl I quite like, he types in, it's a girl I have a thing for, which is a bizarre way to say I like somebody, but that's just me. I mentioned we're going to hang out the weekend, we have a bit of a chat, talk about her, how we met, and so forth, etc., etc., etc. We then move on to, she then starts asking some weird questions. And she asked about the party, and she asked why I didn't go. And I basically said, look, I didn't want to. It's not my sort of thing. I really didn't like high school parties, which is actually true. I didn't. We didn't have a high school per se. I didn't like parties. It wasn't my cup of tea. So she said, sorry. And then she told me how she had this really bizarre plan that she was going to bring this girl Julie on, then dump her, which is a very nice thing to do, to a friend, and dump her and then want to spend an evening with me. So I think, okay, you've got a bit of a thing for me. It's at this point then I ask her what's going on. I find out she has broken up with Travis, her boyfriend. All starts to click into place. And to be fair, she's had a bit of a rough time. Friends they're the same group of friends, and when they've broken up, her friends have gone off with Travis, which may or may not be telling you something. Not one is sort of stuck with her. So she's found herself very, very lonely, very down, and is quite upset. And we talk a bit more, and I sort of say, look, they weren't very nice. They're also not very nice people, obviously we split up. And she gets a little bit more upset and starts crying, perhaps, although she says that in the message. I don't know if it's true or not. But I sort of say, look, well, come over, it's me or her, says, look, let's meet up and let's have a get together. But she asks, and she does ask, and I say, okay, fine, you're a friend, you're in desperate need, let's meet up and let's have a chat. Which is what I say to do. So we agree to meet up. Weekend comes along. We asked a few questions what we're going to do at the weekend. First of all, she says, where are we going to go? And I first thought, run back a bit. We talk about her coming over, and I say, look, we're going to bear in mind what she's just said to me about how I want to have a thing with me. I'd make clear, say, look, we can meet up, but we're doing it as a friends. I'm not doing anything special. I'm basically I'm here to be a shoulder to cry on, because you can be friends with people if they have some more for you and you less for them, you can still be friends with them. So I say, look, we're going to do this as a friends type thing, which she's fine with. She says that's okay, it's fine. Share wasn't more. She didn't ask if we want to meet. Now I had the option of bringing her to my dom. I thought that's not a good idea. I've got this girl called Emma. What's she going to think if I bring this girl Emily along with me to my dom? So I think that's not a good idea. Likewise, there's parties, and more probably alcohol, which again is probably not a good idea. Might do something stupid. So I say, let's stick to the campus. Nice, neutral, safe territory. We'll hang around the campus. She says fine. She then offers to bring alcohol. Definitely not. No alcohol is going to be required because I don't want anything to happen. So I'm setting very clear boundaries here. I don't want to be as friends. No alcohol. I'm just going to meet her around campus. And she seems fine with that. She seems perfectly okay with that, and we arrange to meet up. So end of year 3. So year 4. So presumably we've not chatted in the best part of a year. Emily needs to get to chat with me, and she wants to talk to me. Okay, and she wants to be honest with me. Okay, and she asked if I had, because she's feeling very weird since our visit, and asked me if I'm feeling weird. I say no. She basically says she felt that I've had because I had feelings for her, and no, I don't. And she asked me why and if I invited her down. Because you were a friend who needed some help, and I thought I made it abundantly clear by, in fact, telling you I'm going to bring you down as a friend, making sure on campus and there's no alcohol involved. I thought that was sort of playing quite a sort of few boundaries, and obviously the message wasn't clear enough. Probably a fault, perhaps a mistake on my part. Perhaps I should never have gone there. Perhaps I should not have invited her down. So possibly a mistake on my part, but perhaps I was being too nice. So I feel a bit bad that she thinks I've led her on and apologise, and I do actually feel bad because I think, okay, perhaps I've played this a bit wrong, but I thought at the time I was doing the right thing. So I sort of set that right. Sort of say, look, this is the boundary. This is where we're at. And I also started to get thinking, Emily, you're a little bit concerning. You've broke up with Travis. She wasn't very good. She wasn't very nice to you. You sort of lost your friends. Why did you lose out all your friends? You've thought you had a thing for me to go to the party, which I sort of backed out of, and now you're sort of thinking that maybe I had time for you to beat up at this campus. So she starts asking me about Emma. I say, oh yeah, Emma's fine. According to my character, hasn't done anything. Doesn't appear to have made any sort of move or anything like that at all. He just sort of sat there being nice for the last year and a bit. Come on, guy, get on with it. And so she asks me, and unfortunately she gets upset, which I'm not surprised. I think, actually, okay, you're probably talking about something a bit sensitive. So she says she has to go, and I think probably a good idea. Probably we break this off because I see it's upsetting you. And so she goes, off she goes, and we move on. So nothing particularly major happens in that year, to be honest, but that's all that. Year 5. So this is slightly different in this one. In year 5, you instigate the conversation to Emily. You go online, you instigate the conversation to her. And in reality, I think I wouldn't have. I think I would have probably blocked her and not spoken to her again. On the basis that I think that last one ended awkwardly. It's clear you have feelings for me, and I've upset you by not being able to pass those feelings back to you. I've upset you by declining down when I shouldn't have, and basically I've been a bit of an idiot, and I just want to make things clear. So actually, I probably have blocked her so she wouldn't be able to see who I was, and go online had not got involved. But instead, I seem to want to make a chat. So I talked to her, and she asked me how things are. Blah blah, college is good. Blah 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 blah. I found that she's back with Travis, which I'm a bit surprised by. You know, she's had this guy who's a bit of a jerk, and I tell her that. I think I'm surprised you got back with him, but apparently that's why they were so crazy about it, because they were having those arguments. They were so crazy about each other. That's fine. Good for her. She's happy. Good for her. She asked about Emma, and it turns out Emma has basically no interest in me because she's been feeling weird ever since Emily came down for that weekend, which makes me think to myself, well, hang on, this weekend was 2 years ago. It's the first time I've seen her in 2 years. I've not seen her again in the last 2 years. From reading between the lines, we talk on Msn Messenger about once a year. So clearly there's not a lot going on here, but Emma sort of says, no, I don't like it. So, okay, Emma, if you like that, if you can't accept that, I could be your boyfriend and have other female friends who I meet up with. If you can't accept that, it's probably not best we be together, because we wouldn't be able to have a trusting relationship like that. So, sorry, Emma. We're out of this. Tough, basically. So I asked what Emma was doing, and this is where the game starts to get a bit weird for me, because I start talking to Emily, and I realise that the options I'm getting to talk to her with about what she's doing, what she's getting up to, are all focusing very much on the case of trying to form a relationship with her. And I don't want to form a relationship with Emily. I've determined from all the past few interactions that she's somebody who doesn't quite read situations. Not someone I've got particularly interest in talking online. She seems quite mature for her age. She gets the wrong message when we have done things. She's already admitted she wanted to sort of meet along, and sort of has got herself bested with friends in the past. I think this is not someone who wants to pursue an opportunity with. And the game is forcing me down that road, because I'm starting to get options of, you know, meeting up and basically sort of trying to sort of let's get back together type thing. I'm getting options like that. And I'm thinking, no, I don't want this. I do not want to do this route. So in the end, I say goodbye. And I end it quite abruptly, which is a bit weird, because I think I would end it a lot more neat, a lot more tactfully. And to say, oh, obviously I've got to go. And I could end the game just there and then. And you go on, and the game ends. And I like to think what happens is she's obviously happy with this guy, Travis. I've moved on from him. I've got my engineering degree. I can go off, graduate, and get presumably a decent job somewhere, and presumably find someone else in life. And I think the game, I do feel though, the game was trying to basically force a love story between me and Emily, which was never there. Which is probably why I didn't engage with the game so much. Which I suppose as we're on to it now, it's all my final thoughts basically. And I didn't, because I wasn't interested in pursuing a relationship with Emily, I just didn't like her from her persona. I didn't engage with the game very well. I actually think mechanically it's not that brilliant. It just doesn't feel like as much of a branching storyline in the game. I don't feel like as much of a storyline in it at all, to be honest. it just there's some leaps of logic. Like, it feels like there's a gap of a year between each conversation. There might not be, but it feels like that when you're having these conversations. There's been a big gap, and I'm feeling impressed. I'm feeling like the game's trying to be linear. And sometimes I feel things like you can go on your chat program and you can see all the other people online, but you can't talk to them either. And there'll be some neat little interactions there. For example, you could have it. Let's take the one in year 3. When Emily basically asks to come down and you've already registered Emma. It'd be nice if there's some chat program where you could communicate, where you could like see Emma online, say, oh, Emily's hold there, I'll go talk to Emma. Go and talk to Emma and say, hi Emma, my friend's Emily, she's with her boyfriend, she's in a really bad state, blah, 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 blah. She really needs to see someone to have a shoulder to cry on. Would you mind, or if you're meant to be together this weekend, well, she comes down for the weekend just to hang, so she just needs that little bit of support. And depending on how you play that conversation out, could then affect how what Emma does later on. Perhaps what the developers intend to do in the future, at least that is not, from what I've seen, made much clear what it's intended to do in the future. Perhaps that's what the idea is going to be. And I felt that a lot when I was playing the game, that it just felt too restricted. And there's sort of ideas that you could do. I mean, the idea of sort of talking to other people, sort of interact them, and sort of that affecting the story would be neat. So I have to say, I mean, I've got other issues with the game. I don't like the way the interface works. I mentioned that at the very start. I don't like the hand tapping the keys and so forth. I actually get very fed up with that. I would like just a quick button that just sort of puts your message back in there. It feels like it's sort of out of the game. I don't like the way it's written. I find some of the writing feels a bit weird, and there are cases where basically you have two dialogue options, you can only say the same thing, which just feels wrong. So in that respect, I don't particularly like the game too much. I must say, I can't say I actually like the game, if I'm honest. I don't think it's that good a game. Perhaps a bit more work, a bit more well-rounded characters, it could be a good game. Having said that, it is completely free to play. There is no charge for it. You can go on Steam right now and load it up and play it for free. So in that respect, I would say, give it a go. That's what I would probably say in this situation. So I've been Stuff Around. Very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll do more reviews in the future, hopefully. We also do podcasts and Let's Plays on here as well. I do reviews of things as well. So please subscribe if you enjoy this. Hopefully we'll see you on future reviews in the future. So thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.